Welcome, everybody, to Cup with GUP on this Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. If you want to join the website or upgrade, actually join, use the code NFL for 25% off any package right now through Monday, September 13th. That's Monday Night Football, the opening Monday Night Football of the NFL season. Prices go up Tuesday, the 14th. If you are a current member, hit me up on Slack or DM me on Twitter, and I will get you your GC loyalty code to upgrade if you are wanting to try that now. This includes a free 7-day trial for all new members, so really no risk, no harm, no foul. You can join if you don't like it in a week, cancel anytime before the 7 days is up, and you never see a charge from us. We want to prove what we have to offer, and we have a lot coming in the next 3 weeks or so. Listener League is included in the audio description. Let's get it filled up. It's almost halfway full. Only 300 this week. 500 the first, flat payout structure, limited rake. Top 3 get GC swag if you hit me up on Twitter or the GC Warrior Room Slack channel. YouTube comments. Let's like and subscribe this video for me first and foremost if you haven't done that. And then tell me, I'm going to tell you the top 10 highest projected own on my rankings right now. Tell me the one you feel good about fading, and tell me the one that you're okay eating the chalk. Out of the 10 that I list here in just 1 second, rate and review us on iTunes. We'll be doing giveaways NFL kickoff week as always. Speaking of giveaways, I should have most of the prizes locked up so if you subscribe between August 1st and that Monday Night Football, or you upgrade to the full site, you'll be thrown into a drawing. We're going to have several prizes for that that I'm putting together now. Going to be good stuff. You guys will enjoy that. We always bring it with the giveaways on that. PGA Wyndham update for me. First, good chance of rain today, I think, off and on. Then it's pretty small, scattered showers throughout the rest of the week. So I don't really, nothing. I think I mentioned yesterday you have a chance at a wave advantage. I don't really see that. The rain's just going to be so small of a chance by the time they actually start the tournament on Thursday. That's not really a factor for me at all this week. But warm weather, I think it's just going to be some summer showers that may pop up, may delay them a little bit. Nothing crazy right now that I see at all. Cooling down basically for the last round Sunday a little bit. Outside of that, no real issues that I see. Trending highest. So give me one of these guys that you want to fade, and one of these guys you're okay eating the chalk in the comments, and you'll be put into the drawing for tomorrow's Cup with GUP. I'll announce the winners on that. No specific order. Reevy, Strillman, Webb, Usti, Henley, Sungjae, Kokrak, Seamus Power, Hank Lebioda, and Schwartzel are the 10 highest trending owning in my projections right now. It's early. That could change. Probably will. But tell me the one you don't mind eating the chalk, and the one you want to fade, and that'll get you into a drawing for tomorrow. Potential sleepers low owned for me right now. Just finished the deep dive a little while ago. Got it posted. Site was having a little bit of issues. Should be fixed here probably by the time this is out for sure. We're aware of it, and if you happen to click those links, the links aren't working. The tools are still working though, but that'll be fixed here shortly. Davis Thompson, still one that I like a lot. It's going to be probably less than 2% owned, 3% at most. Deep dive, I still like him. Wolf's a guy that's right there. He's a high risk, high reward. So I'll just say that right now. I mean, we know he could miss the cut by a mile, or he could be in contention come Sunday morning. At his price, and he's probably going to be 4 to 6%. I don't want to say Bryson-esque from last week, but that's around the range Bryson was, and it turned out okay. And in this day and age, Bryson has a little bit of risk with his game as well as far as paying off. Wolf's only 9,300. I say only 9,300, but because he's 9,300, I think the ownership probably won't grow any. So I really do believe in that ownership at 4 to 6%. And I just like what he's coming in with, and I'm going to be on him. I'm going to give him a chance, and is he 1 to 3 max core? Probably not yet. He could be by tomorrow when I get to the glorious nucleus, but right now not quite. Patrick Rogers, someone that he was high on my Monday ranks. I just didn't really catch him. He even grew a little bit on the deep dive. Decent history here, 66, 81, 24. So 3 straight made cuts. I like that. He's $7,300. he's a guy that can get the putter rolling. We know this course is going to be about hitting fairways. He's 10th in good drives. If he can, and I think his approach game's good enough, and the putter can just get stupid hot. Now, he has trouble putting all 4 rounds together, but at 7,300, I don't hate it. Definitely a guy that's moved up to me. Probably going to be in that 3 to 5% range overall. Lahiri, I think, is a guy I hit on a little bit yesterday. Still like him, 6,400. He'll probably be sub 1% at most. 2 out of 3 made cuts here, a 28th and a 53rd. A third at the Barbasol. Above average in accurate approaches, 17th in par 5 DK scoring, moved up pretty good on the deep dive stuff as well. Inside the top 25 for me overall. His rolling stats are 23rd. His course history was 34th, which doesn't focus on putting as much, although I bring putting into the deep dive if you're not familiar with the premium rankings. And he's above average on the field just slightly. So he's a guy that has really caught my eye. And he's a guy I like, especially at that price, $6,400. Monday redo is what I'm calling it. I started this last week, kind of. We'll see how long that goes. But Harman's a guy, I guess I should start with. Reed has withdrawn. He withdrew a little while ago when I was prepping for this, which kind of sucked because I'd finished all the deep dive stuff and he'd actually moved up for me and had to go back through and kind of get him out of there. But ownership-wise, I think that'll lend. It's going to bump probably Webb and Usti some. But if they were going to Reed, I think it'll more bump a Kokrak, and then potentially Harman, because Harman's 9,900. Been talked up a little bit on a few of the things I've caught already. And maybe Sungjae. So guy goes, man, I was thinking about Sungjae or Reed. Both issues, Sungjae's not playing as great, but good history here. Reed traveling all over, yada, yada. Maybe someone goes, I'll just drop down $600 and get him in. It gives me more money elsewhere. So I spread the ownership among that. I'm not as big on Harman traditionally, and I'm not really that high this week. But you talk about a guy that can get hot with his irons and putter, it's Brian Harman. If he stays in that 8 to 10, 11% range, I certainly don't mind having him this week. So he's a guy that is on my radar as we head into Tuesday night, and we'll see what comes of it as Wednesday. Right now, I probably have him with the bump of some Reed going to him, probably to about 12 or 13%, which I don't hate. His stats aren't popping per se, moved down just a little bit, but pretty good. He got 19th at the Open, the 36th last week at the WGC. He was pretty chalky last week. So maybe a little bit of no one wants to go back to him, but his last 2 years here are 27th and a 6th. And so I like that. And we know he's one of the best putters in the field. So he's a guy that moved up. And then Woodland, I had a guy, he was a bubble boy. He's now moved up full into, he would have been in that initial 8K range, strong 3 for me. He's moved up quite a bit in my early deep dive rankings. I think I'm going to give him a shot this week. And I think his game can, if he's hitting the fairways, I think he can excel here. $8,700, probably going to be a less than 10% own. He's a guy that his ceiling gives me, 8,700. I think he can top 20 this for sure. So he's a guy that's moved up significantly for me in that category. Staying strong, guys, for me, Patton Kizzire, Jason Kokrak, Mito, Lebiota, and Armour are 5 guys that I haven't moved off of. I still like them, still staying strong there. I will do final update tomorrow, do the giveaways for golf. Let's hit some NFL real quick before we end the pod. I released my top 200 rankings around lunchtime today. It's the same 200 guys on the deal that Ryan put together, and he did an amazing job on it. We just had some requests for, I did this last year, and I ranked all 200, 1 through 200. So I think people like to use that as if they're snake drafting and all that kind of stuff, or just see how I see it flowing. So I put my first one out. I'll probably do one more. A lot of drafts are going to start this weekend. My 25th year anniversary draft with all my high school buddies and college buddies is actually Sunday. So, and I know the next 3 weekends are going to be big. So I'll try to maybe, if I see anything big, tweak it. But for the most part, this should, get you going. But I'm going to give you my top 12. So if it was a snake draft, your home league, everything's fresh, no rookie draft, no nothing. You just start, like old school way is what I call it. I don't know how many drafts are like this anymore, but I guess there is still a lot that just start over every year. Mine's much more complex in the way that we try to keep it as close to the NFL as we can as far as a franchise. So you feel like you have some buy-in power. And it's not just luck of the draw, but this should give you an idea if you're kind of in that position, or maybe you're starting a new league. And so you got to start from scratch. That's fine as well. Number 1 and 2 are easy. I got McCaffrey and Cook. I think that's pretty much consensus. Safe. I don't see any issues with it. 3 through 6 for me are very hard. It's hard as it's been in a while. I think, and this isn't best ball per se, but you could probably use these for a best ball if you wanted to, for sure. DraftKings, Underdog, both doing those. Right now, I have Henry 3rd, Barkley 4th, Zeke 5th, and Aaron Jones 6th. I could literally make an argument for any 4 in those 4 positions. But if it was me, my top 6 would be those 6 running backs before I ever went outside of it. And then 1 and 2 is locked. I really like Barkley, but coming off the injury, I couldn't put him above Henry. Henry's just a bell cow, right? He'll wear out at some point. I don't think it's this year. I think defenses are going to have to even play less in the box more time than not. So it's going to help Henry a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Henry get involved in the passing game either a little bit. So, and Zeke, I think, is going to have a great year, great bounce back year. But my worry there is that he only goes as far as Dak goes. If Dak's healthy, I love Zeke. I could move Zeke up all the way up to 3. But again, another question mark, right? And Tony Pollard, when he was in last year, played well. So he's going to get some market share there. Nothing to worry me. Aaron Jones is probably the one that I could put 3 and feel fine with it because I think I'd be over the norm. Most people don't have him that high. I've liked him. I was questioning on him until I knew I would not like him if Aaron Rodgers is in there. It's a totally different team. If Rodgers and Adams are not there or having issues, no way. Now it looks like it's in. Aaron's all about business. So I think Aaron Rodgers is all about business. So I think that helped Aaron Jones. And so all 4 of those, I could be argued either way. I'm not going to be, sticking on that one way or the other. The next pick, I probably will already change this by next week. I have Kamara there. And the more I looked at it going into the pod today, I didn't like it. I think if I'm literally sitting number 7 and I could choose Kamara or Kelsey, I would probably choose Kelsey. I think he's that dominant, that much of an advantage. It's so hard for me to think you're in a world where you take a tight end as your first pick, but it'd be really close. And then I have this in a 3-man battle between Kamara, Kelsey, and Eckler. I could go any one of those ways. I really like Eckler. I think Ryan's high on Eckler as well. I think he'll do well this year. Could transform into being, one of the biggest market shares as a starting running back in the league, if they let him, and especially if he gets some more work in the red zone. That only boosts him. But right now, I have Kamara 7th, so I'll leave it there for now. And then Kelsey 8th, Eckler 9, and then the next 3 is Tyreek, Nick Chubb, and Devontae Adams. I'm pretty confident at Hill right there after Eckler. I could go Hill over Eckler if you really wanted to, but I like Hill at 10. I like him much better than Chubb right now, and Adams just a hair as well. Chubb, I know there's people out there that aren't as huge on him, but I think he's going to have a pretty solid year, and I definitely think I would take him there at 11. If I'm sitting at 11 and someone let Hill drop to me, I also don't mind Hill there, if that makes sense. I'm kind of doing in tiers in this 12, but also give you my true 12 rankings. And then last is Devontae Adams. If I'm sitting there at the turn, I get Devontae Adams, and then, you could go Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor. I don't think I'd do the double wide receiver. I know the wide receiver hype is big this year, but I'm not as big a believer in that, especially best ball as others are. So I'm kind of zigging while they're zagging. I mean, I'll take some running backs, and I think having more wide receivers on their team can be advantageous, but there's a lot of wide receivers that people aren't even thinking of or very low. Me and Ryan have several higher than the average that you can still get and have more wide receivers than you had in the past. But I don't think that means you have to go get them so early in the draft just because it's kind of the fad this year. I'm not much on it. I like strong running backs. I think Najee Harris is one that could slowly creep up, and almost be in that. If I was literally sit there at the turn with Devontae at 12, I could talk myself into Najee. I have Mixon there now. I like Cincinnati this year. I like him. But he's something I could talk myself into. So that's the top 12 for today. Tomorrow we will have final thoughts on the Wyndham Championship, as well as I'm going to do round 2 of those picks. So pick 13 through 24. Get through that and see what your thoughts are on all of that. Hope you guys have a great evening and a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.